Time to talk about Redskins. We got all kinds of Redskins news to talk about.
Wait, hold on. If it's time to talk about the Redskins.
There it is.
We got to sing it, baby.
I was waiting.
As long as they keep a fight song. Yeah, baby.
The Redskins Report with Trevor Matich is brought to you by Fork Union Military Academy, and we are so excited to get it started. Okay, Trevor, good morning to you. I got to tell you, I'm sitting here with my number 8 jersey on. I'm ready for the Kirk Cousins era at the Redskins. I'm excited. I have some hope. And how long before those hopes are dashed on the rocks of reality?
Well, I think very possibly when the first Ndamukong Suh sack happens. That's going to bring us to reality, because Ndamukong Suh is a defensive lineman given a $114 million contract with the Dolphins this offseason, and he is a once-in-a-generation dominant, incredible Hulk, Avenger monster.
He is.
That rookie Brandon Sheriff is going to have to deal with.
Yeah. And you have called him the dirtiest player in football, and now that he's not part of my beloved Detroit Lions, I can agree with you.
Yes, there you go. Well, now that Albert Haynesworth isn't playing, yes, I would say that he. Well, Sue has been suspended for doing things like stomping on players who were on the ground, like trying to break quarterbacks in half. He's actually been ejected from games doing things like this.
Yeah.
So he doesn't just want to tackle you; he wants to break you.
So if you're Kirk Cousins, you're that's in the back of your mind at every snap.
Well, what's in the back of your mind is, get the ball out quickly. Do not take the risk that Sue will get to you.
Well, and that is, of course, you know, in modern day football, that's the goal. The quarterback doesn't hold on to the ball very long. That's everybody wants to try to do that. I think he's demonstrated that he can, but it also seems that would mean that the running game is pretty important. And we have heard that this Redskins season we're going to see an awful lot of running.
Yes, and the reason for that is the problems that they've had protecting the quarterback. But when you have Ndamukong Suh in there, running becomes a problem, because he doesn't just sit there and eat up space. A lot of big defensive linemen, they just eat up blockers and let the linebackers run around and make tackles. Ndamukong Suh blasts his way through the offensive line into the backfield, and that disrupts the run. Now, Brandon Sheriff is a powerful guy. Powerful hips, powerful core, very powerful guy, but nobody is as powerful as Ndamukong Suh. So they'll be double-teaming him and doing things like that. But you're right, the downhill running game will be a big part of this, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of Matt Jones to wear down the Dolphins early so they don't expend Alfred Morris early. Let Alfred Morris go crazy in the fourth quarter once Jones has softened them up.
That's interesting. And Trevor Matich, listen, this is the Redskins, and this is D.C., where they just love their quarterback controversies. RG3's role Sunday, will be to, hold the clipboard and help signal in plays to Kirk Cousins? And if, God forbid, Kirk Cousins goes down with an injury, is he the first one off? Have they laid out the depth chart?
I'm trying to find that. I mean, he hadn't been cleared yet as of yesterday, and I haven't seen that he's been cleared yet.
Huh.
So I don't know. Have you guys seen that news?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
if he has, I'll stand corrected.
Cleared from his concussion. Right now, Colt McCoy is number 2.
Okay.
And truthfully, Colt McCoy should be number 2 for a variety of reasons, but the ability to elude hits is probably a good reason. If heaven forbid, Kirk Cousins gets knocked out of this game, Colt McCoy is more elusive than RG3, and it's not just Ndamukong Suh. I mean, the Dolphins have a Pro Bowl defensive end and a couple of other guys that are really, really stout on that defensive front. And if it comes down to having to put in the backup quarterback, you want a jitterbug back there, not a straight line hurdler, so that he can hopefully avoid the next hit.
But that doesn't sound like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins isn't real mobile, is he?
No. Kirk Cousins is shifty in the pocket, like a Tom Brady, like a Peyton Manning, from a standpoint of being able to move side to side, and he's mobile enough. But Colt McCoy is actually truly a mobile, shifty, elusive quarterback.
Yeah, like a Fran Tarkenton kind of.
There you go.
Scrambles and growth.
It'll be fun to watch. And which our friend over at Channel 5, Tony Perkins, has been on Facebook, and he wrote a pretty considerable rant, and it has to do more with the politics of the Redskins. Which our friend over at Channel 5, Tony Perkins, has been on Facebook, and he wrote a pretty considerable rant, and it has to do more with the politics of the Redskins than the actual playing of football. But he says basically, I'm done. I'm out. I'm no longer going to support this team. He says, and this is a quote, deciding to no longer support the team was a tough decision, and it's still something I struggle with. I had been a Redskins fan since I was 10 years old, maybe younger. He goes on to recount all of the various controversies that have occurred, and he just says, sadly, I think the Washington Redskins are the most mismanaged, underperforming, hapless, and snake-bitten team in the NFL. And as far as Tony Perkins is concerned, and I know he really was a Redskins fan, he's done. Is it starting to have an impact of that kind of thinking in this town?
I think he's a bit premature, and really I don't see that thinking widespread. I see people feeling that way, but whenever our pregame show with Comcast Sportsnet is out at the stadium doing the shows there, we talk to fans there, and fans still hope that the Redskins will come around. They still want to love the Redskins. Just the Redskins have to give them a reason to, but I think it's premature to leave them, because I love what they've been doing with the front office with Scott McCloughan, the general manager, who was the part of the brain trust that put together the rosters of the 49ers and the Seahawks. Both teams got to the Super Bowl in recent years. Mm-hmm. And I love this recent draft. I love the free agent signings, especially Terrence Knighton at nose guard. He brings so much of what they want from a culture change, not just on the field. The Redskins seem like finally they are going in the right direction. And this whole RG3 controversy, well, the many RG3 controversies this offseason, I think have created such a smokescreen that it's easy for fans to overlook that the Redskins right now look like a professional football team that's headed in the right direction.
Wow,
so I'm very encouraged by what's happening. It's just the opposite for me. Now, to me, is the time to really start to focus back in on this team.
All right, well, we're going to have to leave it right there. Trevor Matich, thank you so much. I want to say again that the Redskin Report with Trevor Matich is brought to you by Fork Union Military Academy.